1Control, the new microcontroller pedal that unleashes all the options and sounds with your AMP1. Mercury Edition, Iridium Edition and Silver Edition. We have functions of gain, master and POWERSOAK, internal functions of AMP1 that are only available with the 1Control, the Remote 1 or via MIDI. How to set up 1Control? Fairly easy. You take a guitar cable, 1/4" jack, plug it into your 1Control, and the other side goes into the foot switch socket of your AMP1. As we can see, the 1Control is powered by AMP1. No extra power needed. Now we have access to the second gain, the second master and POWERSOAK. The second gain is in line with the gain control on the AMP1. So it deducts the gain that is set on the gain control of AMP1. The same is the case with the second master. So if you crank the master here, you can reduce the volume on the second master for your rhythm sound. The POWERSOAK reduces the output power of AMP1 from 100 watts down to 7 watts, which is in the middle, which is the stage mode. And then there's a little click and it goes to home mode, which is 2 watts in the middle, down to 150 milliwatts, which is the lowest output power possible with AMP1. Now we have access to the second gain. The second gain deducts the gain that is set on the gain control on the AMP1. So let's check out. The gain on the AMP1 is on 10 and now I reduce on the 1Control. Yeah, this turns my vintage channel, which is pretty crunchy, to an almost clean channel. As we have a treble bleed on the gain control on the AMP1, we have a different behavior when I reduce the gain on the AMP1 control. Let's check that out. Full gain on 1Control, and now let me reduce on the gain on the AMP1. You can hear a lot of treble from the treble bleed. Well, compare 5 on AMP1, maximum on the 1Control, to max on AMP1 and 5 on the 1Control. Yeah, you have both options. You can go for more sparkle here or more mids and less frizzle high-end on the 1Control. And you can balance it out to your likings, to your taste. Second master deducts the volume that is set by the overall master volume control on AMP1. So this is like maximum volume, and now I can reduce to my rhythm volume, for example. Of course, this can be memorized on the foot switch, so you have your solo boost. POWERSOAK. Let's reduce the 100 watts down to 7 and listen. As you can hear, there is a little volume difference, but it's basically about the compression and the saturation you get from your power amp stage in AMP1. That also depends on the setting of the master volume. You must have enough power fed into the power amp to make the reduction audible. So if your master volume is set to 3, you don't hear anything. You only hear the click here, which is a sign that everything is working fine. The sound comes when you crank the master. This is the moment where you can hear the difference in tone. Okay, let's listen to that again and then switch from the stage mode to the home mode, which is dramatic. This is home, 2 watts. And this is 150 milliwatts. POWERSOAK, just to refine your power amp saturation tones. 1Control has 2 modes. There's a direct access mode and a preset mode. And of course, we can switch in every mode between settings with this foot switch. How do we know in which mode the 1Control is in? Well, we can plug in the cable and then we see blinking. If it's blinking blue, that's the preset mode. If it's blinking red, it would be the direct access mode. To switch between the 2 modes, we have to either switch off the amp or disconnect the cable and press and hold the internal foot switch. So now I press that foot switch and I give power to 1Control. And now we have seen the red blinking. Red blinking means I'm in direct access mode. Why do we have 2 modes? Well, there are the pedal guys and they want a single functionality on a foot switch that they combine with their setup. And then there are the preset guys. They want to recall all the functions with one preset here and another one there. And we can even expand it with 2 more presets on a double foot switch. In direct access mode, we can memorize the setting of second master and second gain into 2 sounds. The POWERSOAK is always global in direct access mode. This gives me the option of 2 different sounds in combination with any of the channels of AMP1. Just like a pedal. I want to have like a second master volume, so I program one of the sounds as my loud one and the other one as my rhythm sound. Okay, let's start with the rhythm sound. Make sure everything else is all the way up. On full, I start with everything on full. This is my clean sound. And now I want to reduce the master volume as a rhythm sound. And store, I press and hold the button, wait for the blue to come, and I assure and memorize it on the blue. So, next sound is red. It's louder. Yeah, I mean, just to make sure, I put it all the way up, everything all the way up. And to store, I press and hold, wait for the red to come, wait for the blinking, and store. There we go. This is our second master volume. In direct access mode on the 1Control, I can also use a second gain, which gives me a second level of gain, maybe for more cleaner tones or for less overdrive, that is actually global. Yeah, here's my full-on clean on the edge of breakup, and this is like 50%, which is really clean. And I switch to classic. And of course I can go back and have even more gain. And of course these settings can be memorized into the 1Control. For more functionalities in the direct access mode, I'm using a double foot switch. I plug in the TRS cable on this side of the 1Control. Now this foot switch toggles between modern and classic, and I can still go back to clean with the internal foot switch. And now using a delay in the effects loop, I can switch on and off the effects loop. Yeah, this gives me more options with an external double foot switch. In preset mode, the settings of gain, master, POWERSOAK, the selected channel, boost, reverb on-off and effects loop on-off are memorized into presets. 2 on the internal foot switch, and with an external foot switch 2 more, which makes 4 presets. We have 2 sounds, the red sound and the blue sound. Let's program a nice clean sound on the blue sound and a bluesy overdrive sound on the red sound. To start, I switch to red. Then I do the settings for the blue sound. Clean, no boost, reverb, tons of master volume. Okay, let's say that's our clean tone. Now I press and hold the boost button on AMP1 and wait for the blinking. After this blinks, I hit this button and blue shows me that I have this setting. Okay? Now I dial in the sounds for the red sound, which I want the vintage channel. Reduce the gain here for the blue sound. Maybe I want a boost. And less master volume. Yeah, maybe reverb, maybe no reverb. Okay, how to memorize? Press and hold the boost button, wait for the blinking, and then hit this button. And that's red. Now, and my clean tone. Yeah, 2 sounds, 2 presets on the internal foot switches. Of course, we can have an external double foot switch and have 2 more presets. That's the preset mode on the 1Control. It's quite handy to make pictures of your settings with your mobile phone. That helps a lot when you modify preset or you just want to recall them. Advanced programming with an external double foot switch. Plug in the TRS plug into the 1Control. Okay, let's have, for for instance, the modern channel, but no boost. As you can see, I have engaged my delay in the effects loop as well. Let's dial back the volume here a little bit. So that's my solo sound, and I will put this on the external foot switch. Press and hold the boost button, wait for the blinking, and this will recall that sound. And then something a little bit tricky, I want a classic channel, but without a delay. And now we have to have that workaround. It's actually like that. Okay, I have to unplug the 1Control. Let's go for the classic channel. And now how to switch off the delay or the effects loop? Well, you have to press and hold while this is unplugged the boost, wait for the blinking, and then while you press and hold the boost and it blinks once, switch it off with a reverb switch. So that's the sound I want. Go back. Now this is switched off. I have to go back for the classic sound. No. And I want some reverb, and that's my sound. Okay, how to learn? Press and hold the boost and press that button. Now I have my rock rhythm sound on the classic channel and my modern solo with delay on this button. Advanced programming. If you are using preset mode of your AMP1, well, you can have like 3 different sounds on the 3 foot switches. You can combine this with the low gain mode of AMP1, which means you can have a certain amount of gain with your presets here. And then if you add the 1Control, this can be your boost, because the gain setting that is memorized with your channel setting will be recalled in the preset, and the 1Control gives you another gain level. So that could be an extra gain pedal in preset mode of AMP1. Tons of options. Enjoy AMP1 and the new 1Control. Well, on the AMP1 we have the so-called expert features. And one feature is customizing your AMP1's gain structure with what we call the low gain mode. 1Control is a great tool to program your individual gain into each channel. So you can customize each channel for your own liking in gain. For example, this is my beloved vintage channel on full gain. Oh, well, let's get rid of the boost. Okay, a classic rock tone. I can dial back the gain on the 1Control and make that rock channel a blues channel. Okay. So there's a big sound difference that you might like or not, but we have the option to change the character of the amp. Okay, if you program that sound into your 1Control, which I did here on the blues setting, we have that sound, and red is like the full gain. I can use that blue setting to memorize into the vintage channel for my blue sound. Okay, and this goes like this. To memorize this lower gain settings into the vintage channel of your AMP1, you press and hold the boost button, wait for the blinking, and then hold both switches, boost and reverb at the same time. So that's your beautiful blues tone. Okay, this can be done for every channel. I switch on the classic channel and I can dial in my own amount of gain. It's actually zero gain, minimum gain here. Same procedure, press and hold, wait for the blinking and hold. Then. Yeah, with this method you can program each of the 4 channels to your liking, and if you want to recall that later on, you switch off the AMP1, press and hold the boost button, and then the blinking indicates you are in low gain mode. If you switch for the channels now, nice tones. And the 1Control can give you full gain again if you want that. Okay? Very versatile setup.